Hello, welcome to Homeopathic Services. My name is Pierre Fontaine. I've been a homeopath for well over 20 years, specializing in cases of ASD as well as pandas. This is a weekly case short video, and this is a case of a Asperger, okay? And this is what I had to work with at the beginning. He perseveres on cars. He's obsessed with being the best at everything, winning. He fears death and disapproval. He's upset at missing things, not finding things, and when he's yelled at for being tardy. He used to be congested all the time, something we see very, very commonly in cases on the spectrum. Frequent colds or frequent ear infections was generally in the medical history. He complains of feeling hot in the forehead. And what else did we have? He had about the pregnancy. I was looking at the pregnancy as a process and waiting for the other shoe to drop. There was a lot of anxiety during the pregnancy. Okay, so these are broad, right? Broad generalizations of when people answer the questions at first. I'm not going to go over all the case notes during the first consultation. I will say, though, that in this case, parents chose to do a lot of clears. Vaccine clears with homeopathic remedies. And if you're not very familiar with what I think about this, I'm going to say it in a very small nutshell. Clears don't work. I will do another video most likely next week. I do a weekly day. Next week's video will be on clears and why they don't work. Okay, but just to give you, let's say, a trailer, a little appetizer, suffice to say that when a child moves on the spectrum, the child is not becoming the vaccine. Okay, the child does not become the vaccine. The vaccine may have an effect on creating ASD, perhaps. Whatever it is, the child does not become the vaccine, and that is why clears, even though they appeal to people, don't work. So here, in this consultation, we went very much into who this child is, very much into the details of the symptoms, for example, feeling lost and this fear of death, which is a security issue, which is found most commonly in the children on the spectrum. I gave a remedy, and this is the follow-up. Okay, right away, his appetite changed. Definitely an improvement in what he wanted to eat. He feels more healthy. He seems to have filled in. He is much better with his ability to come down. His colds get better much faster. His feet are sticky, okay? A lot of things are said during a homeopathic consultation. Perseverance is definitely lower than before. He doesn't use the Xbox as much as before. Motor skills are far better. He can make a handstand now. Okay, that gives you an idea, because most likely any of us listening to this video cannot do that, actually. He still get distracted, but not as long. Not as long. Not as long. He seems less focused at times. He's more social with his sister. Negative thoughts about himself, and he will have no future. That's something that was talked about in the first visit. Are much better. Okay, it is not so bleak or negative now. Complaints of feeling hot in the forehead is about 50% better. Organizing things, and his personality is so much more brighter now. I asked some questions about this sweat, and I can tell you this child will not be on the spectrum in the next 3 months or so. Here's one thing I want to do. One thing I want to say, and it has to do with Asperger. It is the lower end of the spectrum, right? But Asperger's have a lot of anxieties, and while it is considered mild, I believe if someone can grow with far less anxiety, the life will be better. Okay, it may be. So some people talk about this anxiety as quirks, but really we can be cute about it. I don't think it is. It is so. Of course, we are very grateful that the child is on the lower end rather than on the higher end. We're grateful and happy about this, but if we can do more with a minimal amount of interference, in fact, with what I call in my 3-part series, healing, that person will have a better life. And don't we want that all around? Okay? Thank you very much for listening. I hope this case, like the others, help you in understanding homeopathy a little bit more. Do watch the video next week regarding children not becoming the vaccine. Okay, that's quite great. And thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.